Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Reliving Childhood. I'm Carlee.
I'm Sierra.
I'm Noah.
It's been a second for us on Zoom together. We're watching every single episode of Avatar, so come back for that. But we had to talk about the original creators of Avatar making Avatar Studios.
Yup.
I really want a t-shirt with
Yeah.
that logo. That logo is so nice. It's crisp.
Good.
They need to start making more merch. Like, now that you have this whole studio, I want everything. And I don't want to have to get it from Box Lunch to do it.
Or like Etsy, or other people coming up with like all these things. No,
Like, no shade, but like, give me the stuff from the show.
they got the fan base is the thing.
Here's the official statement by Mike and Brian, the original creators. It's hard to believe it's been 19 years since we created Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's only a few years younger than we are. But even after all that time, there are still many stories and time periods in Aang's world that we are eager to bring to life. We are fortunate to have an ever-growing community of passionate fans that enjoys exploring the Avatarverse. Love that is canon now, Avatarverse. We're excited to be back at Nickelodeon, where Avatar began, doing what we do best in the biggest way possible. We can't wait to build the great teams and productions to make all of this fantasy a reality.
One of my first thoughts when they announced it was like, what is the animation going to look like? Because Avatar to Korra was very different. Is it going to be a new animation, or are they going to follow it off of Avatar, or more like Korra and Voltron?
I would hope that they would still use the studio that did Korra and Voltron, because they're really awesome.
Yeah.
I do like it. Also, since they said they're going to work on multiple projects, is it going to be like Disney in a sense that, you know how they have WandaVision and then they're making like the Loki and all of these other mini, like, are there a bunch of different teams, or are they all just working on it one by one by one?
That's a great question. I'm also curious too, because I think it sounds like they want to make miniseries / TV shows and movies. So you'd probably definitely have different teams for that. And speaking of which, apparently the first thing they're working on is a new animated movie. I have a guess as to what it might be, but what do you think it's going to be? Because it could literally be anything.
I don't know.
Would love a Kyoshi movie. I think we spoke about this. Definitely.
We did off camera.
With the books just coming out.
But see, I don't know, because those books are 400 pages. Like, a lot happens. And there's 2 books. So I'm kind of like, I don't want things to be cut short just because we want a movie. Like, I think that's something that should be a show, because there's so much depth to it. So I think that it should be like a movie of Iroh. Like, either whatever happened with the, like, when he met the like, I think it should be Iroh, because I think that can be captured in a movie and we don't need to have a whole series for it.
That's a really good point. I would love to see the comics animated, because people don't give them enough credit. They're like, most of them are really good.
The comics could literally just go right on screen.
Sierra, you are like way more caught up than Noah and I, but have they like basically finished off the timeline like between Aang and Korra? Because I know they filled it in.
No.
Oh, so they still got more room.
It's maybe Aang's now like 16.
Oh,
maybe.
They got plenty of time.
Katara just came, I don't want to say just, maybe like 2020 came out with her comic. And so like there are times where it's like individual stories kind of a thing. But as far as the other, like the comics in which they're all kind of there, they are on the island of where they want to build the Air Temple Island. And like we can see where Republic City will be built.
Aww.
So we know the place, but nothing has like actually happened in building Republic City.
That's so cool to actually see Republic City get built, though.
With Korra, it happens immediately after the show ends, just like with the Avatar comics.
Yeah.
They better be showing some Korra Sami in the studios. Like, whatever, if it's Korra is still a part of the story, they better show Korra Sami.
I think someone was like, me walking up to Avatar Studios being like, are y'all going to animate that kiss?
I mean, are you? It is 2021 at this point, so...
They already have, like, same-sex couples on
The
Nickelodeon
Loud
shows.
House Yeah, they're gonna have to animate Korosami. I don't want to hear it.
And Kiyoshi, and who is what is her name?
Starts with an R. I think it's like Rangi, maybe.
Rangi.
See, that's why I hate reading the books, because I'm like, yo, I don't know how to pronounce y'all's names, so I'm sorry, but like literally I'm just like, oh, you again. I don't know if this is fact or fiction, but I know a lot of people in the Avatar fandom were really mad about the Netflix series saying they were going to age up Katara. Well, they were going to switch the ages for Zuko, for Katara and Sokka. What were your thoughts on that?
Obviously, I grew up with the show. I don't agree with it. But I don't understand where they're coming at. That makes me worry that they're going to try to do a love triangle or something.
There literally can be no love triangle. What is a 16-year-old going to like about a 12-year-old? You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly,
I don't care. Yeah.
They're going to have to, exactly, they're going to have to age up Aang as well. And also, like, a huge part about Sokka, especially in book 1, is like him feeling like he has to be the leader and he has to be able to lead, and him like actually becoming a leader throughout the show.
The reason that they would age her up is so that they could pair her with Zuko more. Okay, I get if people want them to be together, but I think it's like, y'all want to be with Zuko. Y'all don't care about Katara being with Zuko. You just want to be with Zuko. But like, that's not best for Katara. You know what I mean?
What about it?
I totally get that. I was definitely a Jacob and Bella shipper, but it was like, because I wanted Jacob.
Honestly, okay, this might be a controversial opinion, but if they really feel like they need to age up some of the characters, I think changing Azula and Zuko would make more sense. I think you could still have the main story with Azula being the older sister, and I think honestly that might make it more interesting with their dynamic.
I think it does, but it doesn't. In my mind, Azula was not the same age as Katara, and she was not like 14. You know what I mean? Like, in my mind, she just seemed older in the way like she carried herself and everything like that. But the ending of the show is actually a lot more sad when you realize how young she actually was. It's one thing for Zuko to be like, he's 16 and has a support system of Iroh and still makes these bad choices, versus Azula, who has like the wrong support system and then actually no support system towards the end, and she's only 14.
I never even thought about that. That's, God, wow. We should probably talk about the elephant in the room now that we already have, which is the fact that they were going to work on a live action Avatar show with Netflix, and they left for creative differences last year, which devastated all of us, but I completely understand. It sounds like they're still gonna do it though.
They need to not. Why waste this money? Nickelodeon and Netflix obviously have a deal together, because half of Nickelodeon stuff is on Netflix right now. Like iCarly, Victoria.
iCarly just came on, yeah.
So if I was Netflix, I would be like, okay, so we're no longer gonna make this live action. Can we have like, we will put that money into Avatar Studios and like have a percentage of Avatar Studios or whatever. Like, I don't know if that's how stuff works. But like,
we're just broke college students. We don't know business.
Right.
Like, Netflix needs to put that money into like season 2 or 3 of shows instead of ending them after one goddamn season. Yeah. Instead of making the Avatar live action. Stop.
And also, can we just talk about Netflix? Like, they're doing this trend of like grabbing old shows and making them live action and making them very like Riverdale, like the Winx Club one and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and probably now Avatar. And I just don't understand the appeal. I mean, I guess there is an audience for it, but like, I mean, She-Ra was rebooted on Netflix and it was like by a really young showrunner, and it's animated and it's amazing. It like literally it takes what the show was and makes it LGBTQ friendly and just amazing. It's so good.
I did not watch Winx Club because I was just like, y'all could have done, first off, I've never seen Winx Club actually.
Yeah.
But I've seen the way their costumes look. Like, you could have went off and you were just like, let's put them in a plaid skirt. I mean, it's different for everyone, but I think the shows that are really good on Netflix are always the ones that like actually don't make it to a season 2 or 3 or whatever. You're probably spending so much money to have these shows on there. Like, yeah, I love The Office on there, but it's also like, damn, how much are you paying them to have The Office that you have to like keep canceling your good shows?
Have you guys seen Sense8? because Sense8 I loved,
Not.
and then they took that off. The fan base brought it back because we're like, you can't end it here, and there's so many people to watch and watching it. So instead of a third season, because they ended on a cliffhanger too, and it's like, you can't do this, please. So they gave us a movie, which thankfully, but the movie, it was really sad because as it went on, they like had to close so many storylines, and then they introduced like this whole other part that the series is probably going to go into, but they couldn't, so they had to like, oh, here's this, but actually no.
This is also like, a question for Nickelodeon studios, because like, networks and studios, they have to do what they have to do with these shows sometimes because of budget. But like, they kind of, similar things happened with Korra too. They were like, you're going to have one season, and then like, oh, never mind, you can have another season, and then they ended up having 4 seasons. So the writers had to like readjust. So like, I'm wondering, like, could that happen with one of these projects that they're doing? It's still a network.
I just have to trust, please. Just like, I don't want to be given, like with the live action with Netflix, I'm tired of being given like, oh, here's live action, something in the universe, but it's half-assed. Like all or nothing. Like I want all or nothing. Either do it and do it well, or don't do it at all.
I think what makes me more confident about it is that they're like in the driver's seat about it. And I think Nickelodeon also realizes like actually how valuable having Avatar and like creating good work for it will be. Like the fact that Avatar was on the like #1 on Netflix for so long. I think that they have good shows, but I also am like, will these shows have the same longevity that Avatar has had?
Avatar is like the next SpongeBob. There was a thing that happened this year where it was like the first day since I think 2007 that a SpongeBob episode did not air on Nickelodeon at all for 24 hours.
Why?
So,
That is
I don't know.
sad.
Something about the programming. They just, because like, they always do reruns of SpongeBob because they have so many to like do. And especially like when it's like later, kind of an off time, you can just throw SpongeBob up there. But yeah, there was one day where they did not. And it was like the first time in a decade.
I think it's really funny because like y'all have so much y'all could pull from. And even Disney Plus. Like the fact that people need to make petitions for Disney Plus to put some of their stuff on the thing. It's like, why the f do y'all have Old Yeller? Why? Put the Buzz on Maggie on there. You know what I mean?
Do you remember how the Proud Family wasn't on Disney Plus and now they're rebooting it?
Okay, the Proud Family wasn't on Disney Plus, but the movie was. Like, who is trying to skip the whole show to just watch the movie? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Nickelodeon has so many shows that I'm like, okay, yeah, you can play like iCarly and Victorious and like SpongeBob, but y'all also have stuff from the 90s, obviously, like Doug and Angry Beavers and Rugrats and stuff. But you also have shows like Mighty B that you could play. Like, you know what I mean?
Mighty
like,
B.
You actually have so many shows that you're just like,
My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Like,
Invader Sim. Wait, hold up. Invader Sim. That is so marketable.
But the thing is like they made an Invader Zim movie for Netflix, I feel like, because they also did one for Rocco. And it's like, okay, that's great, but you're actually not marketing yourself as well, because if younger people haven't even seen the show, then it's actually not that beneficial for them to watch this movie.
Well, either way, I am so excited for this. I can't wait to buy all the merch from Avatar Studios when you guys decide to release your merch. And please hire us.
Oh, I want you guys to see the mini toy brand just to see really how small it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so where did you get this?
Okay, so wow, that was my Craisins bag. My giant ass Craisins bag. It's not sponsored. The mini brands versions came out with a toy brand, and they had a mini Aang, and I was like, I need him.
He is
And
tiny.
so I literally,
Wow.
you know how when adults are like, ooh, I can't see this, even if they have glasses on. This is what I like. I was struggling to read this.
Yeah, that's tiny font. That is so adorable. My friend John, who is going to be in one of the episodes, he went to the mall and he found these Aang chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And I think they have Pop Rocks in them. It's even like the same font and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I don't know where my remote is. I'll just use my phone and pretend it's a remote.
We'll just use our
I have.
phones, yeah.
Oh, that's what I was.
Stay tuned for more episodes coming up of us reacting to Avatar, and let us know what content you want us to talk about, because we will talk about Avatar all day long.
Until next time. Boop.